Hey everyone, this is Shauna here with Visually Speaking. Tonight we are doing a review on Inside Out 2. Here with me I have
Hi everybody, it's Kyle Martin again.
and
I'm Diavion Johnson, owner of Abstract Royalty Photography.
special guest with us tonight, and we're also amazing and grateful to have you with us.
Thank you, thank you.
Podcast and review. So I'm gonna let the guest start tonight. So, yes, I'm gonna go first.
Oh my gosh, okay.
Well, Kyle always usually goes first for the most part.
I'm down.
Yeah. First, but kids go
Yay.
first. Yes. So, what do you think about Inside Out 2?
So I thought it was a really good movie that focused a lot on symbolism. I was taking a few notes while I did it, and you pay attention to like the artist's perspective is more so like color. Because anxiety being orange was kind of like, okay, that's a little weird, but you also look at how crazy she looks. You look at envy, which is turquoise, you know, that's like a more down color, a cool color. And although I expected her to be more so like envy, it's more of a negative perspective. She was more so like, oh my gosh, I want to be like them. Then you look at ennui, which is boredom, and you see she's gloomy, she's dark, and kind of just like a teenager on her phone all the time. And embarrassment being pink because of blush.
Right.
But paying attention to all of that was kind of like, okay, I like how they did that, and like had them act the way that you would expect your emotions to. Being embarrassed, you know, like, don't look at me, I have my sweater, my jacket, cover me for safety. Then the crazy orange, you know, anxiety. You have ennui, you know, teenager like I said, and anxiety, crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really liked the movie as a whole, but artist-wise, I thought it was very creative, how they had a lot of, you know, creativity that took a lot of thought. Ooh, and I like the symbolism of, sorry. I like the symbolism of how, what was it? The new one that they didn't want, the old lady, the nostalgia.
Nostalgia.
Yes.
That was so hilarious.
Yes.
Oh gosh, that was too cute.
But did you see how she had the pink glasses? And it was kind of just like seeing the world through rose tinted glasses.
Yeah.
Meaning that you come out and you're just like, oh my gosh, I remember when this happened, and it happened like seconds ago. It's more so like, hey, like, I'm reminiscing on all the past, but you see it in a way that no one else does. Like, that just happened.
Yeah.
But I like how they had that in there.
The fact that she really had no color except for
the rose tinted glasses, so that you would notice it.
Yes.
Yes, I like that. I like that a
That
lot.
was cool. I like that too. Definitely. Thank you.
Of course.
It's and me. You know, before I even go into my spiel, the fact that you brought up nostalgia and the fact that she kind of was like a bland, but only had color focus on the tinted glasses, it's such a good point because the symbolism behind that is everything else doesn't matter except for this one moment. This one moment you just remember and enjoy the experience it gave me, whether it was good or bad. So I thought that was actually a very good thing that you said that, because it made me think about that a little bit. How I thought the movie was pretty good, pretty solid movie. I mean, I enjoyed the first one, so I had pretty good expectation that this is going to be either relative or even better. I'm trying to think of something different to say, because symbolism is a very big part of this story.
Very much so.
Very big part. And I kind of like how the lines were pretty much blurred for each character, for each emotion. Because when you look at anxiety, of course, a lot of people try to put it in this negative bubble, which understandably so, because anxiety can harbor those negative type of actions. But when you kind of peel that layer off and just take a minute to dissect and, well, digest what you're really seeing, you can see that anxiety also shows care. It's just not really as guided. not really as guided care, because when you're anxious, you're only focusing on yourself and the possibilities of what comes either right now or what's going to come 5 minutes after, 5 days after, 5 weeks after, 5 months after. Like, if you remember in the movie, she was talking about, well, if she does not ace this team or make it on the team, then she's probably gonna quit hockey forever. She's gonna find something else. She's gonna probably go into a job that she don't really care about. It was like, but we all think like that. Mm-hmm. And when you look at it from a different angle, it's like, she makes a good point where we have to constantly think about the future, but when you do it too much, that's where the negative actions start to occur. Mm-hmm. And we got to see that firsthand, because no one else is trying to correct her until it became too late. Mm-hmm. And that's a metaphor for a lot of us today.
Absolutely.
But I still liked at the end. I still liked it regardless.
I like that though. It's kind of like how she's the antagonist, but she's not the villain.
Right. Mm-hmm. She's like a deuteragonist. I think I said it right. Someone is going to correct me in the comments.
That sounds right.
Yeah, but I'll count on y'all to make sure I'm right or wrong.
So let's see. Okay, so the plot itself of the movie.
The plot. Yeah. So seeing it from a child's perspective, you see what's happening. Mm-hmm. But as an adult, you see, okay, this is basically saying that you have to make way for new emotions. And it's going to be hard. Mm-hmm. You can't bottle up those emotions that you had as a child. Even though that's what anxiety did. She took control over Joy. Mm-hmm. Joy, she was the one that was always in control, the leader. Mm-hmm. Anxiety said, nah, I'm taking over.
Right.
Bottled her up because she thought that would be better. Mm-hmm. Boom, they had to figure out a way to get back. Mm-hmm. Like, find that childhood, like, what made you? Mm-hmm. And I don't know, it just brought a lot of emotions out of me as well.
No pun intended, but pun intended.
Like, thinking about how I was as a teenager, mm-hmm. which you look back at those times, you don't forget it.
Yeah.
You know those emotions. You know that you want to fit in, that you want to, like, get the popular kids to, see you. Mm-hmm. And then you forget who was always by your side, like her friends. Like, yes. Yeah. And it just makes you think, like, oh my gosh, what was I thinking back then? But puberty, it's like, you don't have control. You notice how they came out. Well, they came in the middle of the night, out of nowhere. Mm-hmm. Like Wrecking Ball, they had a little boom, choo, all that. Yes. What's happening? Wheel, wheel. Yeah. You can't control when it comes. Mm-hmm. Like, they were just sleeping. Mm-hmm. Happiness, all them, and then boom. Mm-hmm. It's a change, and you can't reverse it. Because time goes forward, it doesn't go backwards. Mm-hmm. So you just gotta, learn how to make all of them kind of like work together mm-hmm. and embrace those new emotions, but don't let them take over.
I like that. Yeah, absolutely.
Really good. Yeah. Everything she said.
Touche.
Touche.
Okay.
Touche for real.
Touche. Let's see. The bottling up part, when they bottled up the old emotions, that was a really big, like you said, a big, huge symbolism of you having to, okay, so changes are coming, you're blossoming, you're going from a child to now adolescent, and those childlike things, quote unquote, that you had previously, you had to leave behind, because now you're transitioning into adolescenthood. And then after adolescent, although they didn't get to that part yet, but after adolescent, there's adulthood. So even the emotion that you had originally from childhood to the emotions and things you felt in adolescenthood is going to be totally different when you become an adult. But you're still having all of those there. All those are still there. And eventually you're going to have to bring those back. They have to come back. So yeah, that was big for me. Mm-hmm. The bottling up part.
one
If you
way or
think about it,
another.
it's like, ooh.
Yeah. I'm like, oh,
Goodness.
I need to sit down.
My heart.
Yes,
I generally felt bad for them. I was like, oh shoot. Like she literally was like, hey, y'all are no longer worth it. Gone.
Gone. Like, oh.
Deuces, Joy.
And into the land of beyond, or not beyond, beyond. Yeah, that.
You know, looking back at it, there was a moment when the movie completely started, and that was when mom and dad dropped off the kids, and they was going through the whole spiel like, you got your toothbrush, you got your deodorant, you got this, you got that, you got this, and you got that, and she just heard that her best friends are going to be at a different school on a different team, and she's already deep down sad. I feel like a missed opportunity, either coming from dad or mom, was, hey, regardless of what you got going on, whatever you're gonna do, be sure to have fun and enjoy yourself. I feel like that was a missed opportunity, but I also feel like they did that purposely, because that had to be a lesson that they all had to learn at some point. Like, because I guess for me, because one of my dreams is to be a father, and being able to kind of see these things and looking at it from a protective or guiding standpoint. If I see someone like that, and I notice they're getting pretty high up in anxiety, or getting anxious, or getting sad, or getting too much thought, and it's like, hey, it's okay. You're gonna have to go through those things. It's actually, I encourage you to go through those things, because those things are gonna come regardless if you want to or not. So go through them now and learn how to manage each one, and still enjoy being in this moment. That's why I felt like it was a missed opportunity, but I felt like they did that so the story can be told.
And also it was kind of a reflection of kind of parenthood that actually takes place, because the parents are in the front. She just got the news about her friends. The parents are in the front seat talking about, well, now we have this free time. What are we going to do with this free time? And you pay attention to the news that she had in the back.
Never.
Yeah.
They just like completely overlooked, like it just went over their heads. Dad was too focused on making sure him and mom got some quality time. I don't know if anyone peeped that, but I peeped that. I was like,
he was worried. She wasn't worried about the quality time. He was. She's like, well, we got to do A, B, and C, and he's like,
shoot, you are my A, B, and C.
Right. Right, pretty much.
Since we're on parents, I also want to add that you notice how the parents didn't have any of the new emotions. They only had the old emotions.
Yeah.
Which I didn't exactly understand. Maybe it's because they just didn't want to introduce them yet, or maybe there's something deeper. I'm not sure. Maybe like you lose those other emotions for a while and they come back and forth as you get older, but I'm not exactly sure.
Ooh, because when we got to the end and we started seeing a little bit more, I'm not going to try to spoil it for y'all. Go watch the movie. Anyways,
Definitely.
I looked at it as, at least because now we're adults now, I feel like it was more so we learned how to compartmentalize all of our emotions, so we know which ones to send back and which ones to be out in the front. And then we bring the emotions that are in the back out to the front when we know it's necessary. I mean, of course, we're humans. We're people. We're gonna screw up every now and then, but we have a better understanding, better idea on how to control and have a better understanding of how to manage our emotions versus how a child is. Especially a child who just started puberty, don't know what in the world is going on. So everything is just all out in the open, all up in front. It's a whole cluster mess. So I think that may be the reason why. I could be wrong, but
I like that.
Well, that one new emotion kept popping up.
But they kept on telling her, go on, old lady. Like, it's not time yet. It's not time.
Yeah. So she, well, no, the other, and I'm not going to spoil it for them, but I will say the orange one. The orange emotion in the end kept popping up for both parents. Yeah. So they kept, well, it's going to be okay. But, oh my God, she didn't. Oh my God. And they just kind of suppressed it,
True.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't say suppressed. I would say they know how to cater to it, to that emotion. Because when the mom's emotion came out and the orange one came out, like, oh my God, well, this is all we get. What we're gonna do? She's like, we got this. Have a tea. You'll be all right. She knew how to properly cater to that emotion because she's already went through it.
Yeah.
She already went through the stage that the child is now going through. So she's like, okay, I know how to properly handle you. You can stay, but I know how to handle you.
However.
Damn, just calm down.
Calm down.
Take a relax.
All of us need that here and there.
Literally.
Give me some coffee, just let me sit down.
Literally.
Let's see what else here. So we kind of went over the themes already, for the most part. So the story pacing, the character development with the emotions.
Okay. I don't know the best way to say it, honestly. I know that Joy learned her own, problems as she went, because she's just happy all the time. But we, for the first time, saw Joy sad. And then we saw how she just went into this depressed state where she's like, what's happening? Like, I don't have control anymore. And we've all been there where we lost control, we lost our happiness, and we're trying to find it. And there's no happiness without sadness. There's no happiness without anger. So that's why we see that she's just so like in tune with them. You see how she's helping sadness the full time. Like, sadness, I got you, I believe in you. Because you're nothing without sadness. And I don't know if it's something big, but her hair being blue also kind of shows like, hey, like, it's okay to be sad. Because without, storms, there's no rainbow.
True.
And I also like how with, anxiety, you see how once she lost control completely and saw that, hey, there's like repercussions to my actions, she just lost it. Like, she didn't know what to do. Joy had to step in again, help her out. And we see that she wasn't a bad emotion. She just wanted Riley to be happy. She wanted to help Joy, and she wanted to help in general. Yeah. But we see that like sometimes in reality we try to help and it ends up backfiring.
This is true. Yeah.
So I did like the growth, and we saw how sadness she grew. Everybody really had that moment to shine, and the emotions became bigger. Not like physically, but they became bigger emotions, if that makes sense. Yeah. But yeah.
Absolutely. I thought Sadness was so cute.
She was adorable.
Because like she was excited. She wanted to do stuff. She's like, oh no, because I'm scared if I do A, B, and C, something's going to happen. And I don't want to be the cause of anything that'll happen. So I'm just going to stay right here in my bubble and just be me. But when that first chance of me being able to do something outside of that, I'm ready to go for it.
And she had her little smile too.
Yes. That was really, really cute.
She was adorable.
Yes, absolutely. Definitely. Yes, sir. How are you now?
Joy is such an integral part of this whole story. Understandably so, because she's the main character. She has the most screen time. She has the most dialogue. It does play back off of that statement that you can't find joy if you're not angry. You can't find joy if you're not sad. You can't have one without the other. And I always find it funny because when I think back about the first movie, if you notice, every time one emotion does something, it always kind of interlinked with the other emotion. Like one emotion is always going to have some type of reaction to it. And it's telling me that everything is intertwined. You can't have one without the other, even if one does seem like it's the leader. Like it's still a team of emotions because they're all necessary for human development. So I think that was great to see other emotions step up aside from Joy having her own little character arc. Because even when Joy was depressed and she started crying, I thought that was great because sometimes even when you're happy, you still gotta cry. Even by being positive all the time, it has repercussions. Like, I'm trying to be positive all the time, but all these negative emotions are still piling up on me, and it's exhausting. Mm-hmm. It's heavy to the point where I don't know how to be joyful anymore. Mm-hmm. That happens, and we got to see it in real time. It was great because it's realistic. Mm-hmm. And funny enough, when that happened, all the other emotions decided to step up. Like, anger is my favorite emotion because he's just extraordinarily outgoing. I guess that's the best way to say it. Yeah. But he's like, even though I'm angry, I still am going to find a way to be supportive for you. Mm-hmm. Because I know she needs me just as much as she needs you just as much as she needs me. Mm-hmm. So they still interconnect and intertwine with each other. I thought that was pretty great.
Yeah. And so also, I figured you was going to say something about Joyce. I didn't say I was going to say it too. Mm-hmm. After you were done. But I realized that anger, because Joyce always, of course, like beyond happy. So I feel like that she's putting on that facade, like you were saying, that she is depressed. Yeah. But she has to put on that face that she's happy.
Because that's her role.
Yes. And then when anger said, "You're delusional," she was like, "I am delusional." And then she went into her breakdown after that. It's not funny. But
look, anger was smiling when she did. I was like,
he was like, "Yes, you finally realized that you're delusional." Yeah, I'm glad you realized that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then for her to, well, she was sitting all on the past happenings that they were pushed out. And she sat there and she's like, something's missing. And at the end of the day, it was Joy that was missing because all this chaos that was going on, and Joy had to come back in. Yeah. Yeah. So I thought that was amazing. Yeah.
But shout out to Sadness for being a heroic character in this movie.
I mean, yes.
Cute little Sadness.
And shout out to embarrassment too. He was. I would say if anything, I would say he was the MVP of the movie.
I agree.
Well, or at least he had MVP moments, and I was like, yeah, mm-hmm. You cool. You gotta remind me of somebody from a different movie, but I ain't gonna go into that.
Oh, going off of that, you notice how sadness and embarrassment kind of link together, and then you see how the purple one, which one was that?
Fear
and anxiety, they clicked.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So
immediately, like it was like on site for right. All of them.
Mm-hmm. And it's not even surprising because, anxiety is also fear. Mm-hmm. Like you're scared of what the future holds. And then embarrassment, you're sad, you're embarrassed, like, oh my gosh, what's happening? Like, Mm-hmm. So I like how they kind of like put duos together too.
I did too. Yeah. I like that. I was wondering, I was kind of debating with myself, like, I wonder if it's just going to be them four or if they're going to try and do that with every single one. Because I could have seen Disgusted with Envy for a little bit, because like when you're envy, because I know sometimes when you get envy, that harbors jealousy, and that kind of makes you act in a disgusting fashion. Mm-hmm. So in a way, I thought things that envy says, Disgusted will reflect through her actions. Mm-hmm. Surprisingly enough, and I'm actually glad it didn't happen, but I just thought that was something that could possibly happen. And then you got what's the purple one? Bored. Was it bored? Ennui, yes.
Ennui.
I was thinking of the emotion, not the name. But ennui, I thought ennui and no, I don't think ennui and anger would have worked. Because anger would have just been too.
Got over. It would have been over with ennui really, really fast.
So over. So over. Like you probably like in 2 seconds you're gonna see the flames come out.
Cause you get mad with people that have teenage tendencies.
Yeah.
Like, why aren't you listening to me? Why are you on your phone all the time?
Yeah.
Just like, whatever. Anger would have blown his top. You got one more time. And I'm coming over there.
He would have went into what is it? The little fanny pack.
Oh,
He would have probably went to the fanny pack.
the map creature.
Yes.
I'm the map. What was his name?
What was the fanny pack's name?
Just fanny pack. I don't like that character. I'm gonna just let that be known right now. I don't like that character.
I liked his eyes. It was googly.
I'll let y'all have that.
Alone? You'll leave that one alone.
I'm gonna leave that one alone.
Okay, we're gonna leave that one alone. So, what did you think about the score?
I'm not exactly sure what my thoughts are.
Understood.
Yeah, I'm a little stuck on that one.
So we can actually say, because I know we were kind of chit-chatting about this earlier before we started filming, that some of the things we pay attention to in the film, sometimes some things we don't. So it's a score because of the action in the film. Was the score just something you weren't so focused on at the time because of that?
Yes.
Understood. I can take that.
I saw everything else, but you asked me that question. I was like, ooh.
What music?
Hold on a second. There was sounds, music.
Music was non-existent. No, it was there, definitely there. But no, it's okay because I mean, your focus. Everybody's focus is different, so your focus shifted from not hearing the music, but focus on the plot of the film.
Plot, color, everything. Ask me anything else, but I didn't hear a thing.
So, what are your thought process on the music? You don't know either.
I do know something.
Okay.
I do know something because I know I also said that the score and the music is something I pay attention to the least. Mm-hmm. But there are some that I did actually pick up on and I did pay attention to, and I thought that honestly, even in all departments, whoever was in charge of selecting how certain things go in certain scenes, including music, I think they deserve a raise. Nothing felt out of place based off what I picked up on. I have to make sure I fully disclose that things that I picked up on, I feel it was properly placed in. Timing was perfect. Pacing was great. I didn't feel out of place when it came to music on the things that I picked up on. So yeah, I think it was pretty good. I think it was pretty good.
Yeah. Okay. Last thing. So
I'm trying to find something to actually have a constructive critique on it. I'm struggling a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's perfect. Don't quote me on that. Okay. I'm just saying I enjoyed it a lot, and a lot of the elements worked. So it's kind of hard to find something to kind of nitpick at, aside from the early in the movie when dad didn't do something, or mom or dad didn't do something. That's really it. But from a storytelling element, I think everybody did their job wonderfully.
Agreed, definitely. So 2 more things. One, I'm gonna be real quick about it. So all the orbs. Did y'all realize that all the orbs were the colors of the emotions? So each emotion had their own orb that was there, and especially when anxiety, everything. When she, I guess I'm not sure if anxiety was.
She might be gender fluid.
Might be
gender fluid. We're gonna consider them all. No, we can't consider them all gender fluid because some of them had distinctive character. So for anxiety, when anxiety was building up, you see her or him pick up all the orbs and take it down. Like, okay, so I'm going to build this up more to build up her anxiety more. And every so often you'll see anxiety go sneak more orbs over there and go get more of the orbs. So it was just interesting that, of course, all the orbs had each different type of emotion in them in conjunction with the colors of the emotions as well. I thought that was pretty awesome.
You also notice how there was some with maybe a majority yellow, and then there's a pinch of green, just to show that they did a minor part, but they're still there.
Yeah.
I was mostly happy, but I had a little bit of sadness, so that's still on that orb. or sometimes it might be half and half, 75 to 25. But
I saw some green and purples in there. I saw some red and yellows. I was like, that's very interesting.
Showing that they work together.
They work together.
Yeah.
But it also shows that more sometimes it's never always just one emotion. It's almost like the statement, two things can be true at once. Two emotions can be true at once or active at once.
Yeah.
Because who's to say it can't?
Anxiety didn't understand that.
No,
Anxiety.
Her orbs are all orange. She said, nah, y'all ain't getting any piece of this.
Yes.
Boop, boop, boop. Anxiety taking over.
Yes. Absolutely. Oh gosh, anxiety was different. She was something else. Yeah. Okay, guys. Overall impression.
my overall impression, I would say, my overall impression was definitely a. How am I answering this? Am I rating it or?
No, we're rating after overall impression.
Okay, so my overall impression was generally a solid movie. Told the story well. Colors were great. The pacing was great. Characters were fun. Mm-hmm. Honestly, yeah, that's my impression. It was fun.
Okay.
It was a fun movie.
Okay.
That's what I'm gonna go with.
Okay.
So I'm kind of the opposite. I had fun too, like watching it, because there was a lot of, comedy, a lot of, moments that are just like, oh, this is, fun to watch. Mm-hmm. But for me, I know it hit deep just because I know, like, once you go through that puberty and everything starts changing, you have no control. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh my gosh, like I can't control my emotions. I'm hurting people and I don't mean it. Mm-hmm. I'm doing things that I never thought I would do. This isn't me. You start having like identity crisis back to back and trying to figure out, who am I? Yeah. Like, I'm lost. I don't know who I am anymore. Where's my happiness? Because it's missing. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And going through that, especially like Riley, a girl, and knowing what that's like, it's like, oh my gosh. Yeah. Whew, that was something. And watching how this girl is going through all of this and she can't control it, it's like, you want to just hug her. Mm-hmm. Because she doesn't mean to hurt people. She doesn't mean to try to fit in. It's just, you're young. Mm-hmm. You're making decisions that you can't take back. Anxiety's taking over. Mm-hmm. And you're still trying to find that you lost. Just like a lot of us still as adults. You don't find it that quickly like Riley did. Mm-hmm. With us, we're still trying to find that childhood that we missed, that child self. Mm-hmm. And bring back our happiness, our simple anger and sadness, and be able to just let loose. Be honest with ourselves and other people.
One of the biggest takeaways was, it's like balance is critical. Once these new set of emotions come in, they're here to stay. So you have to figure out a way to make them fit in life, just like everything else did. You can't have too much of anxiety. You can't have too much of embarrassment. You can't have too much of joy. You can't have too much of one, because then you never know how that's going to just elevate to a point where you can't control it. Mm-hmm. So you need to find a way to balance it. And I think another big takeaway, in addition to that, was it's okay to mess up sometimes. Mm-hmm. Especially when you're trying to figure things out about yourself and for yourself. It's just part of life. Even now, as adults, we still are figuring out ways to properly manage and balance our emotions, especially when it comes to certain situations that don't normally happen. So you still have to figure it out. That's going to be a life lesson that we're always going to be learning. Mm-hmm. And we're always going to shift around. We're going to try something different. We're going to have intention one way, and that's going to fail. And then that's going to make us really upset, really angry. Anxiety's going to kick in. Maybe a bit of embarrassment. So now we got to figure out how to turn that fear and how to make fear and joy work together to kind of put us back on track. That's just something we have to do. And as a child, that stuff is scary because it's new.
Mm-hmm.
As an adult, it's not necessarily new because you've been through it before. The situation may be new, but the emotion is not.
Mm-hmm.
But as a child, that's devastating.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So the encouragement that it's okay to have these emotions, I think, is something that a lot of people need to know. It's okay. It's okay.
I'll say my biggest takeaway from it, and don't get me because I'm not gonna quote this correctly. Okay, so when Joy came in and basically told anxiety, you can't take over. And then Joy caught herself as to what she was saying and realized that she can't be the one to take over. And then, of course, they all had to work together.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought that was pretty awesome. Definitely.
I really like it.
Yeah.
Not only that, but Joy also realized that you can't bottle up past mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
Like all the little ones that were just like, it hurts,
Mm-hmm.
but if you bottle it up, Joy saw that it would hurt even more.
Mm-hmm.
You embraced it. You saw how you created someone new that's just like, hey, I'm still great, but I made this mistake. I just have to do better. Instead of, hey, I'm great.
Mm-hmm.
That's not going to get you anywhere.
So you still have to learn the lessons.
And grow up.
Yeah, definitely. So, out of 1 to 5 stars, how would you rate Inside Out 2?
I give it a 3.5 star.
Okay.
Just because I really felt and seeing deeper into like between the lines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
They did really well with that.
Makes sense. Tisha.
Yeah.
What about you?
I'll give it a 4.
4?
I'll give it a 4.
Okay.
It was pretty fun.
I think I'll give it a 4. I'm in between y'all. I like 4 too. Yeah.
4? Nice.
Well, guys, that is it for our review of Inside Out 2. Again, this is Visually Speaking. I am Shauna, of course, here with
Kyle.
And
Diabian.
Until next time, guys. Bye. Go.